Texting while driving is a growing trend and a national epidemic, quickly becoming one of the country's top killers. A driver is 23 more times likely to get into a car accident while texting and driving. The following is a video of two people who are in an accident caused from texting while driving.
All right, John Dorsett here with Will Scott and Addison Powell, two of my good friends that were both involved in a very bad texting and driving accident a couple months back. And guys, can y'all tell me maybe both your story or what you remember from the accident?
Yeah, we were watching the Alabama football game, and we got bored, and we decided we were gonna go out to this guy's farm, and we all just loaded up. It was myself, Addison, and a few other of our buddies, and we were just out on a back road. You know, it was just getting dark, and driver, he'd been going back and forth on his phone, texting, picking songs, whatnot, and next thing you know, we rolled, and I woke up in a ditch. I heard people screaming, and it was bad.
Addison?
I mean, pretty much the same thing. We were having a good time. Left, went out to his farm, and we were going to spend the night out there. We're on Highway 11, and he was speeding. Every time he would look down at his phone, he would lose track of how fast or slow he was going, and he just looked down at his phone at the wrong time. When we were coming around a bend, and it kind of went off the road a little bit, and it was elevated, so he had to correct pretty quickly. And when he did, the car came sideways, hit another car, slung us into the ditch, and I believe me and him went out on the first time the truck rolled. And next thing I know, I wake up, I'm laying on the road, and my arm is broke, and my head's bleeding, and I hear everybody else screaming and hollering, and another guy who was a passenger of the vehicle came running over to my side and checked on me, made sure I was okay, and then went and checked on everybody else. But the people that we hit also stopped and checked on us, made sure we were okay, and they went around, made sure everybody was still alive first of all, and then they said a prayer with us and stood there and waited for the ambulance to get there.
So I understand you broke your arm and split your head open. Will, what injuries did you sustain during the accident?
I broke my femur close to my hip, and I separated my shoulder. And like Addison said, he broke his arm, had that gash in the back of his head. And one of the girls that got thrown out of the truck, she actually fractured her pelvis in 3 areas. And the driver, he had a broken ankle, and he had a prior injury to that. He had broken his hand, and I think he re-broke that.
So obviously after an event like this, your outlook on this topic probably changed drastically. So what can y'all tell me about how your outlook on texting and driving changed from before the accident to now?
Well, mine was just before, just like anybody else our age. I'd be riding down the road, get a text, take a second, you look down at your phone, see what it is, you might glance back up at the road, then you're gonna go right back to your phone, text them back, and you don't ever think about how much can happen in that split second. But if you think about it, you're going 70 miles an hour, you look away at your phone for a few seconds, and you've traveled a couple hundred feet, so a lot can happen in that time. And it's, everybody thinks that they're not going to be that person. Everybody thinks they're invincible, and they're going to look at their phone and everything's going to be fine. But you never know when a car is going to come into your lane or when you're going to drift off the road. So you don't think it's going to happen to you till it does happen.
What advice would you give to somebody that tends to ignore the statistics and all the warning signs of texting and driving?
Well, I would definitely say that it can happen to you, and it will happen eventually. I've been lucky enough not to have had a wreck while I've been texting so far, but after laying on the side of the road in the middle of the night, and you know, just as easily could have been injured a lot worse. It's not worth it. Texting and driving is nowhere near worth just letting a buddy know where you are, what you're doing. You can find that out later. So just don't do it, because it can happen to you.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Texting while driving causes 1,600,000 accidents per year, 330,000 injuries per year, 11 teenage deaths every day, and nearly 25% of all car accidents. The following pictures and video are results of texting while driving.
He pulls out his cell phone and starts texting, and not just for a few seconds. For 6 minutes leading up to the crash, Perez was looking down. And when he finally focuses on the road, it's way too late.